Hi, my name is JC, and we got another video. This one I'm gonna do a little different. And let's talk about how I keep everything powered. I have a lot of devices that I use, particularly for mobile gaming, traveling, and all sorts of type of things. I have my Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. This is my main phone, main contact phone. Take this everywhere with me for emergency uses, family uses. This is my Red Magic 8 Pro, dedicated gaming phone for Android side. Love to use it. Right now I'm recording on my iPhone. Of course, I reviewed this a few days ago. My Fire Tablet 7 HD. And of course, I got my Nintendo Switch. All these devices are great for mobility, but we need to talk about how do I keep these maintained and charged. Of course, you have your standard wall plug cable and you charge, but you are limited to being to the wall. So what is the solution for that? Well, my solution is this. This is the Anker Prime. The Anker Prime battery bank that I've been using has been a lifesaver for many road trips, many events, even at home, being away from the wall. This right here is the Anker Prime Bank 20,000 milliamp portable battery with our output charge of 200 watts. What that means, two of these ports here can give you 100 watts each, depending on the devices and what it supports. It also comes with a USB type. Well, no, it comes with two USB Type C, one USB A. This could be an output of 60 watts. As I said, depend on your devices. I don't think this model here supports super fast charging, but it does support fast charging. So some devices can get up to 100 watts of charge. Some may only stay between 27 to 40. That varies depending on the device. But it still charges very quickly and efficiently. No matter how many ports you use, it will give you enough charge to get through your day. And it comes with a cool display port telling you your battery level. You can see I've been using it. I charged it like 2 days ago, and I've been using it ever since. And I can at least get maybe 3 charges if I use one phone and 2 charges if I use 2 phones. Between the battery level of 50% on either phone. So let's give it a try on how it works. For example, let's try my Red Magic. Now, Red Magic does support up to 140 watts of charging. And they come with their own wall-in plug. So if I plug this up here, plug it up to the Red Magic. Red Magic is charging. I don't know if you can see that. Brightness a little too high. Come on, concentrate. Yeah, so Red Magic is charging. Here, you can see here, I'm getting about 27 watts of all output. And you can see it gives you a little timer on how much this battery will remain based off the charge that I have, which is 30%. So that's how much battery life that I have left. And this the timer that's letting you know. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, this is my daily driver as far as battery bank. I have 2 other battery banks, but nothing compares to this. Been in love with it ever since. Let's go to another phone. Samsung, and you can see Unique thing about Samsung. Let me try it again. See if you can show it. See, so it says so support super fast charging. That's just with the Samsung output just a little bit lower, and that's only because this phone is almost done charging. If it was lower, the output would be a little higher, but it supports super fast charging with the Samsung, but it doesn't support super fast charging 2.0, which is a lot better. And this phone can support 2.0. It's just this battery bank does not support that. So, like I said, depending on your devices, it charges fast. Some devices charge faster than others, some don't. But when you charge the battery bank itself from the wall plug, if you have a wall plug that outputs 100 watts or higher, this will draw in 100 watts to the battery bank. I could charge this battery bank within an hour and be ready to use for the next 2 days. This, like I said, this is pretty amazing. And they have more powerful battery banks than this on their line. But this is a good option. And let me just show you a little couple of things that you can do, especially for my mobile gamers. I have my Galileo G8. I have the GameSir X2. I have the Backbone 1. I have another Backbone. This is Gen 1. This is Gen 2. And I also have this baby. This is the crack. And you're going to find out why. So with the GameSir, let's go with Nintendo. All right. So with my Switch paired up with my Galileo, perfect setup for the Switch. Use the Switch whenever I'm in the living room playing. And let's say Galileo starts dying, it's at 10%. Switch is dying, it's at 30%. I need a better way to deal with charging this. Now, the best way to do that, of course, you have your Anker bank. You got 2 ports. You plug in the port, you got 2 cable lines. Best thing about the Switch and most other phones, which I wish I had the Asus ROG 7, or is it ROG 6? I don't know which version that came out. But they have the ports on the bottom for Type-C, so you can plug one here, plug one here, and now you're charging both of your devices at the same time. And you can see on the Anker, it's outputting 2 watts, 5 watts, more than enough to charge these devices. These devices are not heavy when it comes to pulling out watts to charge them. So it gets the job done, but I found something better that Anker puts out other than having these 2 cables, which they're not annoying. You can have shorter cables. These are just my standard cables for my Android phones. But Anker did come out with a better solution for that problem. And they also have their own cables. As you can see, this is their Anker cable. It's a 2-in-1. So it's a 2-part USB Type-C that comes into 1 cable. So you can just use 1 port and charge 2 devices at the same time. Yep. So as you can see, it's charging there. It's kind of hard to tell if the GameSir is charging, But the way this charger cable works, so even though it's in one port as right now, what it's doing is it's taking one wattage. Well, it's taking the wattage out of here. It's coming down and it's splitting it right through here. So even though it's showing only one side having 8 watts pulled, depend on like I said, depend on the devices and how heavy devices is pulling. This could be a 50-50 split, or it could be maybe a 20-80 split. So it may be 4 watts going in between both devices, or it could be maybe 2 watt going here, 6 watts going here. It all depends on the device, but that's what it's doing. So it's just pulling power from one port and splitting it off into these devices. And if I unplug one device, yeah, see, you see how it dropped down to 2 watts. So it's mainly just charging. Oh, there go the indicator right there. So it's mainly just charging the Galileo. And that's what I love about this cable. That's what I love about this battery bank. This is how I get through my gaming days. Well, my gaming throughout the day. Another one I like to do when I'm playing on my Red Magic 8 Pro, I use a cooling fan. Now, this ain't a standard cooling fan with Red Magic. This is just a generic cooling fan that I got from Amazon. It's a little bit on the bigger side, but it just gets the job done, and it was a cheap option at the time. It supports MagSafe, which Red Magic don't have MagSafes, but they do have MagSafe case, which I do have one. I just took it off as the moment because I use this case for my son whenever he used the phone. Or I can show you on my Galaxy. So with my Galaxy, I do have the MagSafe part to it, and they'll just hook on just like that. And I get the same concept with these cables. See? So that turns on. Phone is currently charging, so if I'm gaming, all right, so we're playing a little bit of Anker. And I love this game. I really love Anker. I can't wait for the next character to come out. But it gets the job done. Long gaming section. I love this. It really gets cooled down. I wish I would have got a smaller version because it's kind of hitting on the camera bump a little bit. Well, from the case. Not the camera itself, but the case. But if you look at the wattage that comes out of it in the first slide, we get about 12 watts coming out of this line. So depending on which devices is pulling more, which I think is my Samsung that's pulling more wattage. But this is how I game whenever I need to cool my phone off and charge my phone. Ooh, I got a speed and a crit. Switch over to the backbone. And the thing about the backbone is pass-through charging. Charge the phone and play. Because this is connected directly through the Type-C cable. And we also look at the wattage for that. Get about 6 watts. So through the pass-through charging with the backbone, unfortunately, is not which is not fast charging pass-through. I think the max that you can get up to that I have seen with your battery being at least lower than 50% is probably 15 watts, maybe lower, which is still good enough. It'll take about an hour, 2 hours. No, it'll take about 2 hours or so to fully charge your phone from dying. But it doesn't really throttle your game anyway. You'll still have a fun time playing the game. And last but not least, the crack. Yeah, I was gonna tell you about the crack. So this is a controller that I picked up for my Nintendo Switch. I hate the Joy-Cons. I really do. The Galileo I really love, but sometimes my son does use the Galileo for his gaming purposes whenever he's doing Steam Link. So if I need to play a quick game and I only have my Nintendo Switch, I also have this for that purposes too. And he's also using my Nintendo Switch to play several games. But this is my go-to. Let's turn that on. You see that lights up. Works just the same. You have back buttons here, back buttons there. But the purpose for this, you have two type ports. You have an output and an input. Let me see if I can zoom in on that word. So you have an input. And what that's going to do for the input, now it's charging. But other than that, this is my lifesaver. So coming down below, I'll make sure I put all the links for the Anker bank for the cable that I use with Anker. The prices for this right now currently is $130 for this. And I picked this up on sale for Amazon Prime for about $14. I think it currently stands maybe between 20 to 25. So this is a very great cable to use if you want to charge multiple devices at the same time. This is very great to pair up with. And the unique thing about it is if you have two of these, now instead of just having two ports of the Type C, you can have four outlets of Type C just using two ports. So that's all I got to say. Like and subscribe. If you like for me to review anything else, let me know. And this concludes my video.